This is a magical place, and I've got to say that I've only been in Egypt for 3 days, and I can tell you, this is truly a special place. It's an incredibly special people, and Egypt is magic.
Would you come back?
Oh, in a second, in an absolute second.
Did you learn any Arabic whilst you were here?
So I haven't added to my Arabic while I was here, but I've traveled in Turkey, I've been in Israel, and I traveled extensively in Morocco. So most of my Arabic I learned in Morocco.
Let's hear some Arabic then.
Oh boy, you're going to put it to me, huh? So of course there's the general niceties of Shukran Habibi,
Shukran Habibi, that's a good,
you know,
what does that mean?
Masalama. Oh, it means, thank you, my friend, or really.
Yeah.
But Habibi is deeper than friend. It's deeper than love.
It's like
Habibi is like family.
Yeah.
You know, when a man says Habibi to a man, it's like family.
But you don't. But it's not reserved for family, right? So
Correct.
You can say Habibi to anyone. Like I said, it's my taxi driver, Shukran Habibi. You got me here safe, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So you can use Habibi a lot, but yeah, Shukran Habibi, that's good. What else do you know?
And there's so much magic in the language. Things like Hamdulillah, praise be to God, and Inshallah. Inshallah is one of my favorites because, I mean, my understanding is it means if it's God's will, but it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah.
Like when you say Inshallah, it's like you're connecting yourself to that person.
It's like you're surrendering all expectation of the future, and you're just saying it will happen if it happens.
Whatever the energies of the universe, whatever it is that guides us and runs us, and our God, I give my free will over to that God, and I allow that anything could happen in the world, which means my possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's so, in that one simple word, inshallah, there's so much depth to our human experience.
When you've lived and spent time in the Middle East, you find these words, alhamdulillah, inshallah, they come creeping into your vocab. So I really have to kind of hold myself back from when I'm talking with friends back home, family, whatever. I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah, because I just kind of think of it. Because whenever you say anything, you make any assumptions about the future. Can I have some water, inshallah? I don't know yet. Maybe something will happen between me getting the water from the fridge and walking up the steps to bring it to you. You just can't take anything for granted. So it then kind of allows you to and encourages you to appreciate every single thing.
See, where I don't hold that stuff back, and I accept that sometimes in my tribe back home that I can be the weirdo. And because it interests people, they go, inshallah, what does that mean? And then that starts a conversation. And so
it's one of those words which people I think have heard maybe in movies or TV or just like on the radio or something, and you hear these phrases but without meaning. Right. And then if you can give that meaning.
Yes, exactly. And that, again, for me, context is everything. It's, and if I can, my photography has always been driven by the idea that if I can spark someone's interest or reach someone's curiosity or their own creative spark and get them interested in wanting to be in the world, then somehow or another I've been successful.
Yeah, job done.
Yeah.
How do you ask an Egyptian, how are you?
I believe it's Isaiah.
You can say Azayik, Azayik, or Amal A.
Amal A.
Have you heard that? Amal A.
Amal A.
A little tip, if you want to sound Egyptian, just add the word A on everything. A.
Oh, okay.
Amal A. Ismak A.
Mm-hmm. See, that's one of the really funny things is, like I said, I learned most of my Arabic in Morocco.
Yes.
So I come here to Egypt.
Different dialect.
Yeah, and people don't quite, it takes them a second to understand exactly what I'm saying. Conversely, the friend that I'm traveling with here learned most of his Arabic in Egypt, and when we were in Morocco, everybody kind of laughed. They chuckled a little bit, and we're like, "You're," because he's a white, he's an American me. But they're like, "You learned your Arabic in Egypt."
They knew that. They knew from the words that. To tell you the truth, the Arabic dialects are totally different. So the Arabic spoken in Egypt is very different to the Arabic spoken in the Gulf.
Okay.
And Morocco, North African dialect is different again. I mean, obviously we're North Africa here in Egypt, but kind of Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, there's a lot of variety. So if you're looking for an easy language to learn, don't choose Arabic, I'm afraid.
It's interesting. We have a tendency, just as a human species, to sort of tribalize ourselves. So people will say American, for instance. Yes. I'll travel in Europe, or I'll travel in Africa, or I'll travel in Southeast Asia, and people will say, American, and that becomes an easily understandable, totally digestible, cultural perspective.
Yeah.
America is not one people.
No.
America is extremely broad, and actually even the English that we speak, we say dialects. We actually say your accent, right?
Accent,
so
yeah.
a Bostonian and a New Yorker is not going to sound like a Californian, is not going to sound like someone from Atlanta or from the deep south.
Do you speak with a Californian accent, a West Coast accent, or is that more like, because there's this accent, Valley Girl, do you know it?
Sure. Oh my God.
Yeah,
so no,
but you don't.
Hopefully, I don't sound like that.
I have to say, you have quite a soft, quite a pleasant American accent. Not that I have a particular favourite, but yours is quite soft. It's easy to listen to.
So it wasn't until I started traveling, and it was actually a woman from Belgium, and I think she might have been flirting, but she looked at me and she said, "Oh my God, you speak with the most beautiful California accent." And Californians, we actually sort of pride ourselves on, we don't really have an accent, barring that 1980s Valley Girl thing.
Yeah.
But we say, well, we don't really have an accent.
Maybe that was why. Maybe it was because it was soft and very understated and not exaggerated. Maybe that was her point.
She explained to me, she said, everyone from California sounds like they're sitting on a beach. It's totally laid back.
So what she was saying, it was your tone of voice. And I have to say, just to give you a bit of context, guys, I overheard Joshua having a conversation with some Germans a couple of days ago, which is how we ended up here. I just came up to you at breakfast and said, would you like to, be in my video?
And thank you for that.
And I'm very happy you said yes. But no, it's the way you speaking. It was the way you were speaking slowly, calmly. And I saw you practicing Tai Chi. Where did you learn that? Because that's all related, I think, personally. Like the way you speak, the way you present yourself. I tend to ramble. I'm kind of like, but you're kind of like, how'd you do that? Where did you learn that?
Oh, well, that's the martial arts. That's Tai Chi and Kung Fu.